Hello and welcome to Women of Influence podcast. Hi, I'm JaLynn with the J Group Real Estate Team.
The Great American Speak Off.
One of my favorites.
All right, woo! I don't know about you guys, but that whole video and song got me a little bit energized and pumped up. You ready to go?
Absolutely. Thank you.
You're awesome. So welcome women entrepreneur powerhouses Lori Spence and Carolyn Pritchard, who started Bridge Medical Communications to fill the patient and healthcare provider gap, which is huge in the healthcare system. Bridge's vision is to empower healthcare professionals to optimize patient outcomes through innovative communication tools, creative solutions, and strategic collaboration. With their unique expertise, I believe these ladies will deliver valuable and insightful perspective to our listeners. Welcome so much, Carolyn and Lori. Good to have you.
Thanks, JaLynn. We're excited to be here today.
Well, I'm excited to have you. I'm like, if you can't tell. But so first question is, Lori and Carolyn, you've been business partners for over a decade now at Bridge Medical Communications and with over 40 years of combined experience. Lori, I'll start with you. What inspired you to start this venture together, and how has your partnership evolved over the years?
Well, what's inspired Carolyn and I to start Bridge Medical Communications was when we started out, we saw this need for Canadian-focused providers and services in Canada, and we were currently employed by a larger global conglomerate, and we really felt that we could offer something unique and customized to our Canadian customer group, and also we have that knowledge of the Canadian healthcare landscape that we really wanted to leverage. And your second part of that question of how we've worked together for over 10 years, we're actually celebrating our 14th year with Bridge Medical starting in August, which is quite a milestone for us, and we're pretty excited. And I think one of the things is we've continued to evolve our style and the way we've co-managed Bridge over the years as well.
Okay, that's amazing. And congratulations on your partnership and collaboration working together for so long now. That's amazing. Kudos to you.
Thank you.
Yeah. Carolyn, did you want to add anything to that?
Yeah, I would say that, 15 years ago when Lori and I talked about launching Bridge, we were very enthusiastic around the opportunity. And I think in the healthcare space, it's constantly evolving as we've also evolved our business over the years. So I think that's what's also made it really exciting is that what we did even 2 years ago, and we all know, things were also different in COVID, are not what we're doing or planning in our business plan for next year.
Absolutely. Absolutely. Thank you for your input. Now, Lori, you lead finance and business strategy, while Carolyn, you bring your background as a registered nurse. How do your different professional backgrounds and strengths complement each other in your business? And how has this diversity of perspective benefited your clients? Like, Lori, let's go with you.
Thanks, JaLynn. So as you mentioned, one of the core areas of my focus in the business is that strategic guidance that we provide to our clients. And with that, also in the business side is the finance. And I think my background in having an MBA has really grounded me in that. And I think where we complement each other is being able to offer those different values to our clients. And I think that's part of having a co-foundership that allows is you're getting a lot more skill set because you're getting a lot more people for the same, if you will, role of a leader of an organization, and where we complement one another. And that's something that, as Carolyn mentioned, continues to evolve is as our business evolve, our roles continue to evolve as well. Right. And we manage those according to the scale of our business, our staffing needs, also our customer needs.
So on that note, what has your business scaled to? What does that look like for you guys?
Our scaling has been probably almost 10x from our beginning, which is pretty
Wow.
exciting and great milestone. And with our scaling, our staffing continues to grow. However, what we've really tapped into is that gig economy and collaborating, because we really wanted one of our values is adaptability. And to do that, you need to have a lot of partners to be able to flex and be very agile. And I think that's one of the ways we've stayed agile, is really having that great network of collaborators that we work with as well.
Okay, awesome. And Carolyn, your background as a registered nurse, like this is not on the list of questions, by the way, but
Yeah.
what was it that you noticed in your experience in your background? Like what was truly missing? Like how did you identify at what point? Like what was truly needed in the healthcare arena?
Thanks for asking that question, JaLynn, because I do a lot of networking with younger healthcare professionals. We have hired healthcare professionals on our team as well. And I think that, when you choose to become, let's say, a pharmacist or a nurse, what is presented to you right away is, bedside care or one-on-one care. And I think that the opportunities for people with healthcare backgrounds are tremendous in having greater impact on processes, systems, collaborations, because people are looking to evolve different. I'd say in our industry, you know, opportunities to improve patient care, and we need people that also understand the processes and the healthcare system.
Yeah, and speaking of the healthcare system, I know that here in the States, and like I won't get on too much of a rant here, but it's
Yeah.
like it just seems like it's just so completely like almost backwards compared to other places that I've been to, different countries. But yeah, definitely we need a change, that's for sure.
I think, the complementary skills that Lori and I bring as co-founders and perspectives are somewhat based on our background, but it's also on the work that we've done and how we've continued to evolve that.
Yeah, absolutely. Now, Lori, I know that do you guys have a core mission of improving the connection between clinicians and patients, right? So, and I know we touched on this a little bit, but what are the biggest communication gaps you've observed in healthcare, and how does Bridge Medical address these challenges?
I think one of the areas that continues to be highlighted as a challenge in healthcare is that point of care interaction between patients and providers. And with that, it's usually based on time, it's on knowledge, and on capacity of decision making. And one of the things that Bridge really likes to focus on is how we can address some of these disruptions in the care path. And ways we've done that is through the development of different apps for providers to use with patients in making decision making, applications for patients to be involved in their own care so they can actually be part of shared decision making, and also point of care solutions that allows for direct counseling and resources. So we really believe about the empowered patient as well as the partnership between the provider and patient.
I love that. I'm like actually fascinated to know how this app works. I'm like, is this something that I can kind of download and play with? I'm like, I think that is so cool, just having that patient doctor interaction. It's like, hey, I'm in charge and empowered to help take care of myself, right? Like I know what my body needs.
Absolutely. And I think it's important to understand, the role of the patient is just that, to know what their body is doing and to be able to report that back to the clinicians. Whereas the providers have such a wealth of, evidence and data and clinical practice regimens to follow, and to have those be able to be quickly accessed for decision making is really important to, have timely decisions and also give the patient different perspectives they may not have seen.
Oh, good Lord. That is so huge. Like having timely decisions ability. I know, like, as an example, my 83-year-old mother just trying to coordinate all of the different doctor's appointments and like care and messages going back and forth. And sometimes it can take, a couple of weeks. And, in the amount of time that's gone by, it's like, okay, she should have had this taken care of already, right? It's very frustrating as, somebody who's kind of stepped into the caregiver role somewhat, right?
Absolutely. And I think other ways that we support that is by supporting clinicians and clinics and institutions with quality improvement programs that allows them to look at those little ways that they can make system and process changes to really help address some of those things. And, that's what they are is, we believe in iterative and innovative changes, not system overhauls, because that's really where you have the most, if you will, bang for your buck with what you're doing with your time and your money.
Yeah, absolutely. Now, where are you guys located and where do you provide coverage for your services?
So we are located in Canada and we do work across Canada. However, we do work with global clients as well. So we do work with the US and Europe. And we've had the opportunity to do different programs that way as well. And I think what we are able to leverage across all of that is really understanding that patient journey and that care path to be able to provide that guidance and expertise when we engage with different stakeholders.
Okay, very cool. Carolyn, I'm going to give this question to you. So I know that you're both passionate advocates for business partnerships. What are your top insights for creating and maintaining a successful partnership, especially for women entrepreneurs considering this path?
Thank you for that question, because I think when we're doing research looking for female co-founders, and there aren't a lot out there. And yes, we are advocates for co-foundership because we see it as an advantage. And that is not only in the business, as Lori described, that giving, we have different skills and provide different value to our clients, but also I think it's in running a business, that your co-founder has your back and that you have that support. And I think being a sole entrepreneur is a lot. So even yesterday, Lori and we met. I had certain things that I was to be actioning, but after meeting with her, got more inspired and had some direction of where to go with that. So I think that's it's huge in the entrepreneurial space. And there are other times where I bring ideas and she helps refocus, keeping us on track and keeping to what we do best.
Yeah, it's truly important, isn't it, to have your tribe, so to speak, like somebody you can bounce ideas off of. Like, I cannot even imagine being a solo entrepreneur. Like, I don't think that really truly exists in this world, like successfully anyway.
Yeah, I think that probably if you peel it back, there, as you say, there's people have one or two people that they're supported by if they are sole entrepreneurs.
Absolutely. So next question is, Lori, looking ahead, how do you see healthcare communication evolving in the next 5 to 10 years? And how is Bridge Medical Communications preparing to meet these future needs?
I think one of the things that we see moving forward is really the shift just from medical communications to the broader life sciences communications. And, with that, we're really looking at that life sciences ecosystem that's maybe expanding. And that's where, because therapeutics are becoming more innovative, so we need biomarker testing. Treatments may need different ways of being administered. So there's like a lot of other different stakeholders involved. And I think what's really exciting about where Bridge is going with that is, we're really looking to take this life sciences communications forward to really empower healthcare providers, enhance that point of care interaction. For our clients, it's looking at maximizing life cycle execution. And I think, there's been a lot of research and investment in drug development and making sure that gets to the right patients and appropriate pathways, really prioritizing patients and advancing, these therapeutic pathways to validate these models of care, which continue to evolve. And I think as you're referencing to your mother, all of the different players, this models of care keep changing and evolving. And it's really important to have somebody who's being able to model that and keep it communicative.
Awesome. Thank you. Like, one of the questions that just popped in my head, like listening to both of you talk about like your journey, is I get sometimes a little bit wrapped up and obsessed with like how things work in regards to the technology aspect of things and like putting the systems in place. So what are some of the challenges that you've had to overcome in, getting this whole thing up and running in regards to like systems and technology? Carolyn, you take this one.
Thank you, JaLynn. For systems and technology, I would say that, it's creating in our business the process and execution of what we do. And technology, in a hybrid world is fundamental to keep people. We're a service-oriented business, so our staff are servicing our clients, and it's based on knowledge and expertise and skill. So that's where I think, keeping up with the technology is really important. We're enthused about how AI is going to be introduced. And we have a plan moving forward in the next 3 years for implementation into how that will impact our business and our clients' business. So I think that's exciting, and it's I'm really thrilled that we're going to be part of that evolution.
That's amazing. I love AI, and I have not even fully reached my understanding of its true and full capabilities. So, Lori, did you want to add anything to that?
I think what Carolyn touched on in, the processes and systems is one of Bridge's key values is methodical. And I think we've learned through trial and error that having a method or process is so critical. And when you fall off that, things can fall through the cracks or fall down. And that's where we really, provide that value and expertise. And I think that's something we continue to leverage in all aspects and becomes very foundational to where we're going.
Yeah, that's powerful, having those systems and processes in place for sure. Like, I could use some help with that myself, but that's a whole other topic. So I guess the next thing I want to ask is, if somebody were interested in learning more about your services, your technology, like, how would they get hold of you? Like, put your contact information out there.
Absolutely. If people are looking to learn more about Bridge Medical Communications, we are online via bridgemedcoms.com. We also have an Instagram, which we also post on and share a lot of our collaborations and stakeholder engagements, and it's really helping providers become engaged in this space. And you can also find Carolyn and I on LinkedIn.
Okay, awesome. I'm going to put a little banner in here so everybody can see it. The first one that you mentioned, could you spell that for me, please?
Yep.
Bridge.
The website, it's www.bridgemed, so BridgeMedComs.com.
Got it. Okay, I've got a little banner here. Did I spell that correctly? bridgemedcoms.com.
Yep.
Okay, so you guys know how to reach out to Lori and Carolyn. Carolyn, I want to ask you this question. Do you have any advice or what advice would you put out there for any women entering the healthcare or communication fields?
My advice to anybody people do reach out to me on LinkedIn. New grads graduating, wanting to get into medical communications. And my advice to them is really hone in and develop your writing skills, both written and even verbal communication, because a lot of what we do is working with healthcare professionals, but also developing collaterals for patients. I would say networking is really important, and there are lots of opportunities. As Lori mentioned, there's life science associations in Canada, in the provinces. There are also STEM, so women in STEM networking events, and healthcare is part of the job opportunities there. I would say attending, industry or professional association events allows you to start listening and meeting other people to see what those opportunities, because it is a bit of a niched marketplace. But you have to start getting exposure to see where, you might be most interested in fitting.
Absolutely. Great advice, Carolyn. Lori, what advice would you offer?
I think in addition to the advice Carolyn provided, women looking to get into healthcare communications and also looking to support patients and providers, it's really important that they have really that high level interest. And I think it's a passion. And usually that's done by something personal or of interest. And it's really encouraging them to go deeper on that, because I think we all get into our current practices because of something personal, but our passion is really what takes us forward. And I think having a passion in your space is so critical as you start to invest. And I think, we've gone through a little bit of timing of changing careers or changing, focuses, and bringing passion back to what you do is really important to have that give the reward back to you.
Absolutely. And having passion for what you're doing, it makes it feel like you're not working, right? It's just like
Mhm.
you're waking up with purpose and passion and excited to get started, right? It's so important.
And I would say in healthcare, you can start that with, there are so many stakeholder associations. And I've certainly had my own personal passions, whether it be supporting a hospice activities, like attending hikes for hospice, or one of my favorites, handbags for hospice, where they have a silent auction. I love that. But also, I'm currently sitting on a group, Porridge for Parkinson's. We're having an event in November. So I think for people, you can find your passion through those stakeholders, and then you start to network with professionals, that can provide you with more knowledge in the area.
I love that so much. So just basically put yourself out there, like get out there, do the networking, go to the events, the hikes and whatnot. And that's so much fun. Like you can't necessarily be successful just like staying in your own little hole, right? In your own little world. You have to definitely make yourself seen, right?
Yeah. And I think you can get a lot of information online, but it's not just about gathering information. It's about sharing information, which it's back to the in-person.
Absolutely. All about like collaboration. Sharing is caring.
Yes. Yeah, definitely.
I
Well,
think we
thank you.
could, oh,
Oh, go ahead.
sorry.
No,
I
please
was
go ahead,
going
Lori.
to just add, JaLynn, where Carolyn and I have our passion in this space really is continued to evolve. And we've been excited to launch under Bridge a brand called Empower Her. And Empower Her is actually a conference that started for female practitioners focused on female health. And we work with an esteemed, group of physicians who lead the faculty for that. But it's really meant to engage other female practitioners to be able to participate in these activities. And so that's our way of trying to create forums for young and inspiring practitioners, as well as those looking just to connect. And we're really excited because we're offering this in oncology this November, and have had such success that Empower Her is coming back in 2026 as well. So, this is really one of our passion projects as we move forward as well.
Well, thank you for sharing. I did not know that. So Empower Her. Is it empowerher.com, or how do people find out more about that?
That we can share through through the Bridge Medcoms, they can connect through there, and we can share it with them as well.
Okay, that is awesome. Well, ladies, it's been such a pleasure having you today. I know that you have a meeting to run to, so I'll go ahead and cut this off. But do you have any last words of wisdom or advice you'd like to throw out there to our audience? And whoever wants to go first can go.
I would say entrepreneurship is an incredible journey. And if you're thinking about it, create a plan and go for it.
And I think in complement to that, it's if you're really wanting to go in that entrepreneurial journey, it's, look for your co-founder, and, that's an opportunity to leverage your skills with someone else's and to really collaborate on that future opportunity.
Yeah, thank you so much. Such great advice. It's been such a pleasure. I hope the two of you have a wonderful rest of your week, and I look forward to staying in contact with you.
Thanks,
Thank you so
JaLynn.
much, JaLynn.